My favorite author, James Baldwin, says it very simply. Um, Allegiance is a two-way street, and it becomes unfortunate when the allegiance is only one-sided and not reciprocal. I've seen that to be the relationship between elected officials and Trentonians, those being the people. So, with that being in mind, I've seen that year after year after year, election cycle after election cycle. So, I decided to move from a position of asking to being able to lead and demand and put things in play. So I'm no longer sitting on the sideline hoping it gets right, but I'm taking initiative to lead and make it right. The people of Trenton need a leader who is at the pulse of all that they're doing and moving the city forward. I think the greatest challenge in this city, when you begin to listen to elected officials talk and dialogue about initiatives and things they'd like to do, they oftentimes forget the most powerful force on this planet, which is the people. Even going through the 390 petition process, many of the petitions I received were people who were disconnected on how that process works, how they were to be empowered, whether it was their living conditions, whether it was their address. So the most important issue for me is empowering people in this city, each and every person who lives here, to understand their civic duty, their civic responsibility, and all they need to do to make the city be the amazing place it is. The mayor's position has to move beyond electing board members and influencing the superintendent selection. The mayor has to be a supreme ambassador for academic excellence, using the bully pulpit to speak to every issue that impacts education. If our schools fail, our city fails. And we have to create a new value system for education, which we don't have now. Inside of inner cities like Trenton, there's a devaluing of education, and they don't see it as the one thing that can move them past their impoverished existence into an affluent reality. I think a large part of that has to be an internal examination of where we are. Like right now, our department directors are really an embarrassment. So I think the first thing we need to do is clean up internally, begin to bring in competent, qualified, and committed persons who are invested in the excellence of Trenton itself, where each department is running like an efficient and effective machine. Once people externally see that internally we've got our act together, they will begin to be drawn here. But right now, if everything on pages 1 through 5 is dysfunctional, disgraceful, and disrespectful to the people who are living here, no one will come here. So once we clean up internally, then we'll be good to go. You have to first and foremost get a director who understands this city, understands the people, the population, the pulse, and of course the politics. But is centered on creating a culture of mutual respect. Right now, the people fear the police, and right now, the police don't respect the people. You have to bridge that gap, not through meetings or coffee chop and shop. It is through a consistent narrative built on a day-to-day conversation that has to be had that us two as two institutions have to work collectively together to serve and protect each other. If you're looking to find a new trend, then you have to get away from the old mindset, mentality, and reality we exist in. If somebody's been in an elected position for the last 20 years, they're part of the decision process that brought us to where we are. They certainly can't be a part of the revitalization of where we need to go.